Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. Find out what's going on as I hereby invite everyone to join me on my adventure through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So we got a brand new patch out today. It is up, it is live, it is running, and the first card that we've got to talk about, the card that I think everybody is talking about, is going to be Arishem. Arishem got changed from being a 7/7 to a 7/7, so it looks like it's the same exact card, but everything has changed about it. First of all, now it will not give you energy, extra energy, until turn 3, which is a huge nerf to this. Basically puts it on the same energy ramp level as every other energy ramp level card that exists. Pretty much around where like an Electro would be, or maybe a decently good Hope Summers. That gives me hope that they can let energy manipulation show back up again. Also, change to this, which isn't the biggest change in the world. The wording on this has changed, so now it actually has a keyword that says game start. That just means start of game. They actually changed start of game from being its own long out text or at the start of the game to game start, which is now a keyword. Which also gives me hope that there might be a few more start of game effects that are coming around. I know the few that are actually coming out in the near future. Now the next one that they gotta work on is merge. Final thing that got changed about this, which is huge changed about this, is Arishem will no longer put cards into your deck that exist in your deck. Meaning that if you put a Shang-Chi in your deck, you will never get a Shang-Chi off of Arishem. That is a huge boon to what Arishem used to cause a problem with. There are so many times where I would see an opponent use a Shang-Chi because they had Arishem out, and then I would feel okay putting down a card because I'm like, okay, you already played your Shang-Chi, and then they get another Shang-Chi and just wipe me out, or they would get a second Blob, or they get a second Mystique, and it would just be ridiculous. I actually kind of hope that they can use this ability of Arishem for a few other cards in the future. I'd like to see this be put on some stuff like Agent Coulson, because the number of times where that same thing happens with Agent Coulson or Agent 13 is kind of annoying. I don't think this kills the card because in addition to all the bad things that happened, instead of it putting 15 cards in your deck, it's back down to the original 12. It just makes it so that Arishem finally might be able to see some play without everybody in the world hating it. Okay, next one that we have on our list of nerfs. Oops, wrong one. Hang on. Right one. Is Typhoid Mary. Typhoid Mary is still 410, but instead of giving all your cards in this location -1 power, she gives all the cards in this location -2 power. This is a perfectly fine nerf to Typhoid Mary, if you want to even call it a nerf. Because Typhoid Mary used to do every location, now she just does her location. So the fact that she used to give -1 to everything else would basically be about the effect of a -8. Even if you throw everything into her lane, that's the effect of being like a -6. And even she used to affect her own lane, so it's not even that bad. So if you had a full board of everything, that'd be 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this can go up to almost 11, which would be, let's see, 3, 6, 4, 8, 12. This could go up to almost like -4 and still be about fair. For where she used to be. So I don't think it's that big of a nerf to her. Because people were playing her before just in regular decks without even playing the Luke Cage and just not caring that -1 happened. Next up that we have on the nerf train is the smoke monster Alioth. Alioth got changed from a 6'10 to a 6'9. This is a nerf that basically I kind of saw coming along. I think a lot of people might have saw it coming along. This was pretty much a nerf just because of searcher decks and to a certain degree Sakar decks, because in the 10s deck, what's known as the 10s deck, with this being a 10, it basically got you almost a free location on the 10 that then buffed up your Surtur or buffed up your Sakar. And the last one that we have on our list of nerfs here is one that's really weird and I don't understand why. No, not you. It's Black Widow. Black Widow got changed from a 3/4 to a 3/3. Still gives the Widow's Bite. Widow's Bite still is a -1. Still an activate effect and go back to ongoing. I either don't play Black Widow right, or somebody doesn't like Black Widow way more than I do, or something. Because I was not seeing her come around ever since she became the activate card. There's a part of me that almost thinks she can be dropped down to 2 as like a 2/2 or 2/3 and be fine there. There's a little interesting combo that you could get back with that, where on turn 2 you play the Black Widow if it was at that point, and then on turn 3 you play the Crystal because you can activate the Widow's Bite. But somebody either hates Black Widow or just this is a more played card than I'm aware of, because I have not seen this thing breathe ever since the last OTA patch came around. So next up we've got the buffs to talk about. So the first buff that we got to talk about, none of the buffs are big, but some of the buffs are interesting. Is Enchantress. Enchantress got changed from a 4/5 to a 4/6. This was a buff that I think they tried a while ago. I think they might have even made her a 4/7. I gotta look into that. They're basically saying, play this. Please stop ongoing from happening. And there's a part of me that believes that Enchantress still won't see play until you drop her down to 3 and have her on the same playability as Cosmo. Make her the same stats as Cosmo. Make her the same power, same cost as Cosmo, and just have her be the unrevealed that does the ongoing. It's too hard to roll on for. Or just make her one-sided and then you can let her be on 4, and I think that'd be fine. Next buff that we have up is Frigga. Frigga got changed from a 3/3 to a 3/4. Don't think it'll see play. It's too hard to weave into too many turns. You have to have something good on 2. You have to have something good on 4. And I almost wish Frigga would be dropped down, become like a 1-drop. Make her like a 1/1. I think she'd be fine. Give the card some negative energy on the next turn. It's not that good of a 3. There's 3/5s as upsides, and to call this an upside is not really an upside. It's fine, but it's not the best upside in the world, and there are 3 5s that exist. Next up, we have probably the oddest one that I can see. For some odd and inexplicable reason that I do not understand, Shuri got changed from a 4-1 to a 4-3. Not gonna complain about the fact that Shuri gets buffed up to a 4-3. Not sure why. I think it was to make Shuri see a little bit more play, maybe. But you never care about the power on the Shuri. You care about what you're doing with the power on the Shuri. You're either using it on a Red Skull, or you're using it on a Black Panther, or you're using it on even a Sasquatch. Big cards like this card. So the fact that you're making a 20 on her location, her going from a 21 to a 23, well, interesting. I'm not sure is the breakout card that it needs to be, wants to be. I'm not sure how else you would change her. I'm not sure she doesn't see enough play as is, but apparently she doesn't anymore. I'm just not sure what's going to make her see this play by getting that +2 points on her. Maybe add a line, give it +1 power, then double its power could be interesting. So that way, even if it has 0 power, it could still get that +1 and become a 1 and then become a 2. That could be interesting for stuff like, especially with Iron Man. The next one that we have up on the buff list is the Lockjaw. Lockjaw has had such a hard time finding its place ever since it got brought down and then brought back up, and for some reason at 4 it just does not have the power. Everything that was nerfed about the old Lockjaw Thanos deck is pretty much back, and Lockjaw still is not finding its location. I'm not sure the 1 power really gives it to it. It's the fact that you can't play it on 3. You have to play it on 4. But this getting brought down to 3 again is a problem. So I'm not sure how they ever fixed that card. Next up on our list of odd cards that I didn't know were going to get buffed and didn't think needed to be buffed, and I'm not sure how this buff works, is the Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill still looks exactly the same, still does exactly the same trick, but now his hammer, his sword breaker, gives +2, and it's now a 0-3 instead of a 0-1, I should say. So, overall, Beta Ray gets +2 power at the end, but that's not great. It changes Beta Ray a little bit, because now it puts Beta Ray into a 14, 15? Let's see, he's 6 and then he doubles up to become 12, 12, 13, 14, 15. So he's a 15 instead of a 12. I mean, yay. I mean, what situation is that going to help you out with? Where a 12 would have lost you again, but the 15 wouldn't? Again, I kind of almost wish it did the same thing as Shuri did, where when you played down the hammer, it gave the hammer's power to Beta Ray Bill and then doubled it. That could be interesting, because that'd be huge for Beta Ray Bill at that point. That would make Beta Ray Bill a 19. Maybe that'd be too powerful at this point, but it's hard to get the hammers. It's still hard to get the hammers. Next up on our buff list is we have the Elsa Bloodstone. Elsa Bloodstone does the same exact thing that she used to. Instead of being 3-3, she's 3-4. also Bloodstone just isn't seeing play like she used to. It's not so much her power, her cost, it's that +2 power instead of +3 power. Whenever that power changes at the bottom, it makes her good or bad. And especially now with Galacta existing, where for 1 more power, you can give another card after her +4 or +3, I should say. And you don't have to jump through all the hoops that you need to jump with through Elsa of having the whole board filled and locking up a location. It kind of makes Elsa, like, irrelevant at this point. Last card, least card, weakest card, worst card, weirdest card. Not sure how to go over this one. Cerebro has been changed from a 3-0 to a 2-0. Why? What? Who? When? Huh? This is one of those ones that you scratch your head and go, okay, I kind of need Cerebro, want Cerebro, have to have Cerebro get knocked down to Series 2, Series 1. If they ever drop Series 3 down, which I think they need to do at some point, Cerebro needs to be on there, because once you hit Series 3 cards, Cerebro really goes the way of the dodo bird. This needs to do something. This needs to maybe not be ongoing. This needs to maybe make it so your highest power cards can't be reduced, and then give them +2 power. Have this be a Luke Cage effect in addition to itself. I mean, this is just, there's so many ways that if you ever played Cerebro before, there's so many ways that your Cerebro can just get messed up, screwed up, whatever up. That it could be a 5, it could be a 4, it could be a 3, it could be a 2, it could be a 1. I almost wish this was a 0-0. I think as a 0-0, this might be a more interesting card. Or make the power on it go up some more. Make the power like +5. If you make the power +5, that's interesting. Cerebro now exists, it's a deck at that point. There's a way to shut it off with it being ongoing. There's a way to mess with it. You can literally just take one of the cards and give it +1 power, and all of a sudden the Cerebro's messed up. That's how bad Cerebro is. That's how weak Cerebro is. I think even if this gave +5 to your highest power card, I'm not sure if it would see play. Overall, a decently good patch. Really happy myself to see that the Arishem got knocked down a peg. I hope this lets the breathing room exist for the game and lets some people stop yelling at Arishem for being the worst card in Marvel Snap. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play for fun.